Kate Cox's fetus was diagnosed with a medical condition that's almost always fatal for the fetus.
A judge in the state has issued an emergency order for an abortion to take place.
Texas Attorney General's office argued during the hearing that Kate's condition did not meet all the elements for the abortion exceptions.
So, Ken Paxton, Texas Attorney General. Now, here on TSP, we are not proponents of terminating pregnancies before full term. This is not what we stand for. No. However, there is a case down in Texas that shows the extreme position of some politicians that make the case for their political opponents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's kind of a sad scenario because it's not like a woman that's just, having an abortion to have the abortion. It's not that situation whatsoever. It's unfortunate the baby would not live, and if she does go forward with the pregnancy, she becomes sterile, has a high chance of becoming sterile. And due to the Texas laws, you can't have an abortion done there. But this is kind of the thing that we've even talked about on this channel, regardless of our own views or whatever on this subject. We've always said, well, but like there's these certain cases where it does make sense to have an abortion if it is going to kill the mother or it's going to make them sterile if the child's not going to live. It just doesn't make much sense to go forth with a pregnancy at that. And this is the problem when you get, I would say, politicians involved with healthcare. And it's just very, very ugly to see.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You think of this particular woman's plight. This is not, one of these 304s out here who are just using prenatal termination as birth control. We're not talking about a situation like that. We're talking about a married mother of two who is trying to have a baby and then finds out that their growing baby has a condition called trisomy 18, which basically means instead of having 2 copies of chromosome 18, there are 3, and that's fatal.
Yeah.
And because this woman has already had 2 cesareans, this could be fatal for her too.
Yep.
So we keep hearing about this pro-life stuff, and it sounds good on the surface if you're a conservative. However, you gotta explain to me, Cap, what is pro-life about forcing someone to carry a dead or dying fetus for however many months, and then when it comes time for removal, the baby doesn't live and neither does the mother, and now we have a single father of 2 in Texas for what?
Yeah.
So that Ken Paxton can get some votes for governor, because I'm pretty sure he's going to try to run for governor at some point. What's the point of this?
There is no fucking point. It's very idiotic. You're having a situation that is the one that we've talked about on this show. Like there's some very extreme circumstances where the procedure needs to be done so the mother does not pass away. To me, it's a lot of semantic bullshit that he's just trying to get votes off this, and he's trying to be hardline on this. And is it pro-life? No, it's not pro-life. The baby's not gonna make it to term, right? So what is necessarily evil about having that procedure done now so you can actually save a life? You're gonna be taking away a life if you force this woman to have a pregnancy. And this is why, regardless of your viewpoint on abortion, pro-life, pro-choice, whatever, I've never felt comfortable about having politics involved in any shape or form in healthcare. Because these procedures, once you put them to the underground, it can get extremely dangerous, right? When you're making this like outlawed or illegal, and for this, let's just call it what it is, for this scumbag saying, well, I'm going to be pursuing everybody involved in this case, like, come on, man, really? Like, this is your magnum opus, this is how you're going to get votes. I think the everyday American looks at this like case and thinks it's sad because that mother wanted to have that child, wanted to really, raise another kid, and unfortunately they can't. So now never mind the trauma they're going through, understanding their baby isn't going to make it, their baby's going to die. Now they have to go through the trauma of some douchebag painting her as some type of monster, and it disgusts me on every single level.
And I think it's even worse when you think about all of the health professionals, from the orderlies to the nurses to the doctors to the surgeons, and to try to demonize these people and scare them with prison time for what essentially would save a life and help her to create more lives in the future. You know, another thing, Cap, that I thought about with this situation, I now fear for women who have miscarriages or stillbirths, and if the health of the child doesn't go all the way through, now they have to fear some level of prosecution, because now it's going to become some sort of murder investigation, and you're going to take a situation that's already extremely traumatizing and just add more trauma onto it. Again, I ask you, the viewer, what is pro-life about this?
It's just a disgusting, and while I hope what you're saying isn't the truth, but I've also had the stance that, oh, well, you know, if it's an abortion due to the baby not making it, or it's going to kill, like, you know, we've talked about these circumstances, and you're having some guy trying to get a political rise out of all this, tried to demonize. So, you know what you're saying isn't out of the realm of possibility, and that's the sad part. This should not be in politics. It just shouldn't. This whole getting the procedure done, regardless of your viewpoints on it, regardless of your religion, the procedure should be legal. It should be taking care of the hospital, and especially in a case like this where the woman actually wanted to be a mother, and you're making her out to, like, you're just giving her even so much more trauma upon this, because this is something that losing a child is one thing, but then also going through the rigors of being exposed to the public, making this a nationwide case, there's so much stress, aggravation, depression that she's going to go through with due to this whole scenario. Yeah, all true. Already going through this. And if you are a voter in Texas, I'm hoping you look at this. Like, is this the type of leader you want to have in your state?
Yep.
Because
most you know that a bunch of pro-life people are going to get caught up on the wrong side of the law on this, simply because a pregnancy didn't work out.
I just hate when people, because you know my stance on this, I hate when people try to misconstrue, like, the pro-life shit, and they're gonna just excuse this type of behavior. It's like, it's kind of crazy.
Right.
It's a scenario in which the mother could die from, and the baby's already dead, right?
Yep.
So what are we doing here? We're just gonna, oh well, fuck it, you know, based out of my weird moral code, right? I'm gonna just have the mother give a pregnancy of a baby that's not gonna already make it, so probably already dead in the womb, and then she can die, so we can have a 2-for-1 special. Right? Where's the fucking logic in any of that? There is none.
There is none. You know, I look at it like this, Cap. We should treat these situations like we treat amputations. We don't give amputations to people who don't need them, and we give amputations to people who do. And that should be the bottom line.
That's actually,
you guys in the comments, please let us know what you think on this topic. Do you think that forcing a woman to carry a DOA pregnancy that could possibly cost her life and her, or even in the best case scenario, her fertility, do you think this is a pro-life stance? Let us know in the comments down below. Kat, final thought?
Final thought? Attorney General's a scumbag. Everyone that's kind of going to try to persecute this woman is a scumbag, and hopefully justice prevails here, because it's honestly saddening what this woman is going through.